The full episode is now available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Please see the link in the description for more details.
And we are back for another commentary track, this time for House of the Dragon, Episode 5, We Light the Way. Preston, how are you? It's been a minute since we've done one of these.
I'm doing okay. It's funny because I think the last thing I saw, like with regards to House of the Dragon, besides me doing my research for overanalyzing, was Glytus's last video, and he's so positive on House of the Dragon that I'm almost forgetting the other parts of it, because he really he gushes on it, and so you begin to go, oh yeah, maybe it was really 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 good, maybe it was like the best thing ever. But then the minute we're now talking about episode 5, and I'm like, oh right, this episode, and you forget that they're like House of the Dragon. Yeah, there's some really really great parts of it, but also there's just stuff that's like outrageously bad shoved in at the same time, which is almost the odd thing about House of the Dragon, is that it can be so good and then also awful at the same time. I don't know how you feel about it.
A good way to describe it is that, what's good is really good, what's bad is really bad. There's a lot of fine stuff in there, of course, but what's good is really good, and what's bad is just, why would you do that?
Right. So God mode Daemon, I think is, I just remember that first time you and I were watching the original, that first time we watched House of the Dragon, and you texting me during your first watch, what the fuck? Why is he on God mode? He's not he's a man. Just what? And we're just both just beside ourselves that they would think that it was a good idea to film something like that. And I think episode 5 is if I remember correctly, this is my least favorite episode of House of the Dragon. And so I think my favorite episode might be episode 8, which is the Velaryon
dispute
episode. Yeah, the Velaryon dispute, and I think this might be my least favorite. So we'll see. Maybe my mind will be changed. Maybe I'm completely maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see.
So, as always, the way this is going to work, guys, is that Preston is going to count down 3, 2, 1, and we all click play at the same time. The first thing you should hear is the HBO whoosh, wow. So, yeah, Preston, count down, and we will start the shindig.
All right. 3, 2, 1. And I'm in the opening with the spinning of the dials and all of this. Yeah, the opening is also not good. We're reminded of this every time that
we say this every time. By the way, did you know that this episode, We Light the Way, this is I believe the 4th time we've ever gotten house words as the episode title?
Is that a trivia thing that you want? How many episodes
that's a trivia thing that I know
haven't been named for house words?
That's a trivia thing I know, courtesy of Mr. Yagan Demand. But no, this is the 4th time. The first time was Winter is Coming. That's the first episode of season 1 of Game of Thrones. The second time is Fire and Blood. That's the finale of season 1, and then, as stupid as this is, I believe the 3rd time is Unbent, Unbound, Unbroken, which are the Martell words, which is such a waste. House Martell meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. Just who cares?
you first of all, it's a little weird because you have no idea what all of the house words are. You have no idea if cripples, bastards, and broken things might happen to be the house words of some random house. You
That's
win
true.
or you die could be the name of a house. The pointy end. You don't know. You don't know.
House Point.
So you're saying Fire and Blood, Winter is Coming.
Unbent, Unbound, Unbroken, and this is the 4th time with We Light the Way.
Okay. I'm just, Kissed by Fire. for
Some random wildling house made of gingers, kissed by fire.
yeah. Man, and then this random plot that like, so the guy comes back at the wedding. They establish this. I mean, if this doesn't come back into season 2, I don't know why they spent all of this time on that like dude and him coming to the wedding and all of that. If this
Dude spent like a month on the road just to get there to give Daemon the evil eye.
right, well, it's like, well, we hired the actor for the episode. We might as well have him show up.
I love, by the way, I love the veil.
She's
Oh my
hawking
God, it's
alone.
so
Like,
good.
you don't hawk alone. Or no, I guess she went out arching alone.
No, yeah, she went hunting for deer, but she got pheasants instead, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Like, where'd you land your dragon? Why?
I forgot about the dragon part.
Boom, boom. Wear a cloak. Wear a cloak. Like, what's, like is he wearing the cloak? Because it's like, who, what, like somebody might see him. They're like, who was it? Like, I don't know. It could have been anyone flying Caraxes. Like,
he kills her and he just runs off. Hey, stop that man wearing a cloak. Bro, we're all wearing cloaks. Oh, damn it.
Damn it. It could have been anyone. We saw maybe Caraxes is wearing a cloak too. That's
Stop.
that's what we don't know. Caraxes.
Hold on, I gotta AI generate this now. This is ridiculous. A dragon wearing a cloak. I have to.
Caraxes.
This is
I mean, how else are you explaining his like very secret action of flying a dragon into the Vale to murder his wife?
I thought he was gonna use what would have made more sense is if he used the dragon to scare the horse, and that's how she falls. But
It's so, I mean, the horse just does. I'm trying to look, because remember, I like went through this and stopped it to see what the hell the horse was doing. No, the horse rears for no reason, and then he pushes it over. But like, yeah, why did the horse rear? Yeah, the horse
lands on her. She should be knocked the fuck out. Landing on her.
He pushed it over. But the thing is like, how does he even know that she would have like broken her spine like this? Maybe she would have been fine and would have started running. It's such a weird, sloppy way to kill somebody. Like, you're flying your dragon into the Vale. You're just going to assume that she's hunting alone and that the horse is going to rear weirdly, and just so funny. Oh, you couldn't finish. Like, it's also a weird thing. Like who, like, I don't know if like women really care about, I mean, I don't know, the sex thing and finishing. Like,
but we
anyway.
both agreed that he should have used Caraxes to scare the horse. That would have made more sense.
Yeah. It's just something. Have the Caraxes fly over at a certain time and have him like go up. Yeah, I also really hate fake vomit when it's just like a mouthful.
Right.
Like, it's just like no one vomits a mouthful. You vomit, I'd rather have the hose down the sleeve vomit thing. But anyway, it's fine. This scene's fine. The set is fine. I mean, they framed that direction pretty well of explaining
By the way,
everything.
I can't imagine like someone catches Daemon killing Rhea Royce and then they're like, "Hey, you!" and then he just runs off. I can't see Daemon running away after killing.
Right.
I just can't see that happening.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Because that's why they had to do the cuts, because the whole thing doesn't make any sense. But
Also, the actress is gorgeous, by the way. He said she was ugly. She was not ugly. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah. But the thing is, I remember this episode being, I think I called it like a gold between two pieces of shit, right? Like the middle of the episode is really not quite nice. Oh, look at that guy. He's like spinning I never noticed he was spinning his umbrella. He's like, I'm bored. I'm going to spin my umbrella. Spinning.
I love how they have the sigils all over everything. The horse hat, I never noticed that before.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, such care. Oh, it's green. It's green on the sigil there too. What? Listen to me, daughter.
You actually remember them. Maybe I'm like a second behind, but you know what I never noticed about this actor, the Otto Hightower
Yeah.
actor? He was actually in Little Nicky. That's one of my favorite movies growing up. He's the bad guy. He's one of the brothers. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He did almost exclusively comedy. I mean, his big thing is like Notting Hill. He's the like the doofus roommate in Notting Hill. But then I don't know. He started doing serious roles. I mean, you're actors. You take what you can get. I'm actually really surprised sometimes that certain dramatic actors just naturally can do comedy so well, and some comic actors can naturally do drama so well. Adam Driver. Adam Sandler and Adam Driver, but Adam Driver is like so funny. Like when he does comedy.
Oh yeah, I watched him in Girls. Oh my god, he's
so funny. Like, and his Saturday Night Live skits. Saturday Night Live is not funny at all, but anything he's in is freaking hilarious.
I love the Matt the Radar Technician Star Wars parody he did, where he's Kylo Ren, like undercover boss style.
Yeah. All right, riding this. This is another one of the wheelhouse that would never get to the top of the mountain here. Like if you actually look at the castle, like there's no way that thing is making it all the way up to the top of that. But we'll just cut. We'll just cut. On when they
you don't know. There could be like a oh, never mind.
I mean,
maybe on the other side.
I mean, it's a beautiful castle, but why would they keep that courtyard in such ruins when like they have so much money?
I wonder if this is the back end, like of the castle. Maybe he doesn't want to be seen. Because remember, like it's even Rhaenys comments on it later on that the king had to kind of come over here to beg. So maybe they're using the back entrance.
He's like, who's here to receive the king? Well. Freaking, he's right there. They're right there. They were fighting. Oh, I think Lana looks beautiful in this scene. And then that's Randor. It's funny. I'd made that joke, Randor Velaryon, and people were like, "Oh, that's his name, Randor," like not knowing that I was making the joke that he was random. Oh, Randor Velaryon. Okay. Yeah, Randor.
Of course, seen at the Godswood.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then... Oh, there's the lemon trees. Lemon gates!
Is this the episode where you like... Oh, so the audience doesn't know this. So, like, after this episode airs, you hit me up. You're like, yo, we got to do a really quick recording on this one scene. The Lemon Gate stuff. I'm like, what? Lemon Gate? I didn't even notice it the first time.
I think the general consensus is that like it had to be because they could have picked any thing to talk about, like the blooming being from Bravos and it being the wrong place, and anything could be on that wall behind them, but they chose the lemons. It's got to be Lemon Gate.
Anything could have been even more orgies, but no, they chose lemon trees, of course.
It's true. So I was thinking about I think some of the settings, and I was making that joke about the courtyard being in ruins, and I think this is a bit of what we perceive and think of as medieval. They want to transfer that, so like for instance in real life, they had plaster on the insides of castles. Like you weren't looking at stone walls; they plastered them up. But all that plaster like came down with rain and time, and so when we think of castles, we think of them as stone walls. And so when they want to show a medieval setting, they'll show stone walls. I think it was the same thing with that courtyard, or say like stones being out of place in these courtyards and it being a little like rough. It wouldn't actually be what like they have all this free labor. Look how immaculate her dress is. Like why would why would they spend all of their time on certain things, but then they would let like the architecture around them like go to pot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's more about like audience expectations of what medieval castles would look like. Like there's some exposed brick over there. Like why would they allow that exposed brick? You know, stuff like that.
This is kind of like the Tiffany problem. Have you ever heard of the Tiffany problem?
No, what's that?
Apparently, authors will not use the name Tiffany for a female character in historical or fantasy fiction because the name looks too modern. However, Tiffany was a common name in medieval times.
Really?
Yeah. So this is an example of how reality is sometimes too unrealistic, you know?
Yeah,
so they have to...
Yes.
They needed to show more Lena. Like, we needed to see more Lena. We needed to see, like, more of this. This is so fucking cool. There's a whole thing on the Game of Thrones wiki about, like, all that stuff there. Apparently, Ryan Condal came to the Corlys Velaryon actor and told him, like, what everything in that hall is. Like, a detailed book of everything.